Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Cancer, Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's the weekly reading for April 29 to May the 5th. So Cancer, your cards this week, very powerful spread. You have in the position of energies leaving, completing or transitioning, the Magician. Focus energies this week, you have the Fool, clarified with perspective and the Star. And you have the Five of Cups coming in towards the end of the week. So Cancer, you've got four major arcana here, and what was intentionally, I intended it to be sort of a 3 or 4 card spread, but when I clarified the Fool, both perspective and the Star came out. So it's pretty powerful stuff going on for you this week and a very strong new beginning. So let's start with the Magician. I think recently you've been waking up to your potential. So, waking up to the fact that you can create your reality. And not only can you create it, but you actually have everything you need within you in order to do that. Sometimes we sort of sit there and think, oh, I'll make those changes when I have X, Y, or Z, like the right time, the right money, the right person comes along, next year, next spring, whatever it may be. And you're sort of like putting a conditional element on it, and stopping yourself from moving forward and making change. But I feel that recently you've had the realization that you actually don't need to wait for any conditions to change, that you can actually do it anytime, because you are the master of your own reality. You are the co-creator along with the universal force to create your own reality, and you can line up with that and use that potential to manifest whatever you want in your life, and in particular your new direction. So the Magician has a representation of all the tarot suits on the table here: the Pentacle, the Cup, the Sword and the Wand, as a metaphor for having all that you need to create this new beginning. So that's a really powerful awakening to have. And now that you've had that awakening, I feel like it's full steam ahead into the new beginning. It's created the energetic opening for that new beginning to come through, which is strongly signified here by the Fool. So you actually have, 0 and 1 of the tarot deck here. So you have the 2 first cards of the tarot. So this is definitely new beginning potential. So the Fool is the strongest card of new beginnings in the tarot deck, and it asks us to take a leap of faith and to step out into, I guess, and for some people it will be stepping into the unknown and kind of taking that step into a new direction, and following your instincts, represented by a little white dog there, is the key to that, because our instincts will tell us if we have a sure footing and let us know if we're, going along in the right direction or not. So that was clarified with the Perspective and the Star cards. So let's start with Perspective. Perspective, this is from the beautiful Star Child Tarot deck, is equivalent to the Hanged Man and the Rider Tarot deck. So the Hanged Man asks us to see things from another perspective. Have we been too busy viewing things from other people's perspectives or taking on the views and opinions of somebody else, and that stopped us from actually thinking about what we want in our life? That energy can make you feel quite stuck. So I think what the Perspective card is asking you to do is to surrender now. Surrender to that it's actually time for you to let go of that and move into your own power, and think about what you want. This is all about you, and you need to take on your own viewpoint for this next chapter in your life. So what I love about the Perspective or the Hanged Man card is it's sort of like you're in a transitional phase where you're sort of suspended as a transitional step to your enlightenment, or to awaken further to yourself. So Perspective is, or the Hanged Man, is the card that precedes the Death card in the tarot deck. And the Death card is all about that very juicy spiritual and personal transformation. So I see Perspective as the gateway to that transformation. So if you can surrender and take on that new viewpoint, you have the ability to awaken a little bit further on your journey, also awaken to that new beginning. So they talk about dying the death of the hanged man to actually achieve that. And look, that can mean, you know, quite a big process of letting go of something, letting go of a relationship that's not serving you, a past pattern that's not serving you, a job that's burnt you out or made you feel like you're not in your power. There could be a situation that you will know of that's holding you back. And when you die the death of the hanged man, it's almost like moving through the process of the grief cycle. So there might be, you know, you may have gone through the phase where you're in denial, you know, oh, that job, you know, might be burning me out, but I need it to pay my bills. Or, you know, yes, my relationship does take my energy, but we have good times as well. So that could be the denial stage. And then you often move into anger, like, oh, you know, it's not my fault that this has been holding me down. Then bartering, you know, trying to actually make it work and sort of, you know, barter with the other person's situation or even justify it to yourself. Then, you know, there's obviously a period of depression and sadness that can follow that before you move into the acceptance phase. And it's reaching that acceptance which is the key to shifting up your perspective. But, you know, what a beautiful omen to, as the dual clarifying card here, the star. So the star card is your, if you were looking for that confirmation of, will everything be okay? Am I on the right track? Is this the right move? What will happen if I do shift that perspective, if I do let go of that thing? Well, what will happen is the future will look very bright for you. And, you know, the star card comes in as an omen to let you know that you're protected and the worst is over, and you just need to follow the light. Follow the light into your new beginning. It's also a card that can indicate that you may need to do some, you know, healing work or rebalancing, restoring to move back into your energetic center, because, you know, we sort of need to always move back into our power and our energetic center when we're undergoing such a significant transformation. And by being centered in ourselves and aligned with ourselves, that means that you know, you will you know, when you're sort of going through this new beginning and you're attracting and you're manifesting, that you will attract that perfect energetic match for you. So yeah, it could be really important this week to take some time out to rebalance, restore, maybe even get some energy healing done, because I think it's a significant pause before you're sort of launching into this new beginning. Now, towards the end of the week, we do have the Five of Cups coming in. So look, you know, I think in this reading, for me, the Five of Cups stands for that feeling of bereavement. You know, you've just gone through a massive awakening and shift, and you know, some letting go or some peeling of the onion and some releasing the past. There's no wonder that you may feel a little bit, you know, a bit in despair, a bit bereaved by that situation. It's almost like a sense of loss, and even though you might be letting go of things that you knew didn't serve you or were negative for you or hurting you in some way, they're still familiar friends, past habits, you know, those go-to patterns that have always sort of been there for you. If they were your, it's almost like your comfort zone, or yeah, just those familiar feelings or habitual patterns. And when we let those go, we can sort of have that feeling of, well, who am I now? And, you know, what happens now? You know, when you go through your spiritual awakening and as you let go of things, you know, that it's quite scary. And yeah, I can definitely relate to that feeling. So what you need to remember when you're sort of in that Five of Cups energy is that, you know, for every loss and, you know, despair or feeling of grief that you're having for something you've lost, you're making space for new opportunities and new energy to come in. So, you know, once again, if you turn around, you'll see those new opportunities. If you change your perspective, you'll see from another viewpoint, and you'll see what was there waiting to come in that whole time. 5 is the number of change, so it indicates that that change is coming, and also that sometimes you need to flip the coin and see things from that other perspective so you can move forward. So yeah, just if that energy comes in, just always see the other side of the coin and look towards your opportunities rather than focusing on your losses, because it was meant to be, to let them go, to move forward on your karmic cycle. So wow, okay, Cancer, that is actually a pretty powerful reading and very beautiful reading. Don't forget your omen of the star here. It has quite a far-reaching energy, so that will be with you for a while, protecting you, and it's sort of like your guiding light while you go through this change. So wow, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes for you. So Cancer, good luck with it this week. Feel free to comment on the video if it resonated for you. Just keeping in mind it's a general reading, so not everyone will find themselves in this position this week. And we'll see you for another reading next week.